yeah, this is like ridiculous. Like Nezuko's latest form comes under criticism, um, from like people say it's sexualizing her. Well, maybe that's kind of what an older like a 19 like a 7 like a 18-year old is probably gonna look like 18-year old. It's gonna look like, you know, she goes from being younger to older because of her demon form, because of her enhanced physical, not enhanced physical, because of her full being a full-fledged demon. And of course, if you're wearing something that's made for like 14-year-olds, of course it's not gonna fit her. Of course it's gonna make her look more busty. Like, you don't use facts, logic, and wisdom in this. Complaining about this and how this and getting all polarized over and also getting polarized over this crap. You know, it's like with the G4 thing. What I found to be the best response is to not get polarized on it. I have communicated the reasons why people may feel the way they feel. I mean, I probably feel the way I feel, but that is because I just don't like people who talk down to me and call me for liking anime, or just some perverted creep for liking anime, because I don't know. I don't see any ecchi anime in my on my bookshelf. I see mostly mecha anime, and and just overall, like I see the version of Escaflowne. That's an excellent isekai anime, which I think which you can still get the Funimation edition of this. I have the Bandai edition, which has just the original air version episodes. Very good series. You can get that from Funimation. Mine's from Bandai. So I'll have to get the Funimation. See, I don't see any isekai, not isekai, I don't see any ecchi anime in my collection. And even if I had ecchi anime, I'm not really into that aspect of anime to begin with, because I just find that to be. I find that to be blue ball material. Like, if you're going to look at ecchi, if you're going to look at ecchi, you might as well look at hentai. You might as well look at hentai and whatnot. So, you know, just seeing these people kind of complain about this stuff, this sort of, if you sexualize Nezuko or any other underage character, please don't follow me. Yeah, I'm not even gonna block you, because you're not worth my time. Unless you're harassing me. If you're harassing me and calling me a um a whatever names, other names that you have that you throw at people, then yeah, I'm going to continuously do it. Call me a creep, a pervert for liking anime, or a loser for playing video games. Of course I'm going to block you, because I don't want to hear you, because you're an asshole, and because you're being an asshole, I don't want to care about you. You know, like it's just funny how some of these people complain. I understand she can adjust her size apparently in many ways, but sexualizing So who is sexualizing the character here, by the way? Who is sexualizing Nezuko? Is it the female creator of Demon Slayer? Yes, the creator of Demon Slayer is a female. Or is it the people complaining about this? It seems like the people complaining about this are the ones obsessed with race, gender, and age. You know, moralist busybodies and are usually the most bigoted types of people. They make a big deal about this stuff. And they and usually goose stepping nonsense is gonna come out of the mouth. Goose stepping nonsense, or known as Mussolinian bullshit. You know what I mean by Mussolinian? Bundle of sticks tied together. The origin of a certain political party in Italy. We all know that political party gets acquainted with the Nazis, misacquainted with the Nazis. As some people will be apt to point out, the Nazis weren't exactly that a Mussolinian type, but you're gonna hear that kind of nonsense come out of the mouths of bigotry, come out of the mouths of moralist busybodies. You know, I don't want to. I'm wondering if their political if their ideologies are communism and whatnot, or far left ideologies, because that would be pretty consistent with a moralist, with my views on morality. I personally feel that morality, or not morality, moralism. Morality is okay. But moralism is not okay, because moralism is the conceited idea that I'm right because, let's see if I've got the book. Let's see if I have a Bible on my shelf. I'm right because this book says so, and you're wrong. You know, just substitute the Bible with the Communist Manifesto, with the Feminist Manifesto, with whatever manifesto of whatever moralist BS artist. It doesn't matter what book you're referring to. They're all more or less the same. All more or less the same. I'm right because this book says I'm right. And you're wrong because my book says you're wrong. You know, people without an edge of independent thought that just go along with the masses, or whatever moralist outrage. You see, that's how the Nazis came to power. That's how the Mussolinians came to power in Italy. That's how the communists came to power. Moralist nonsense. I wonder if these people subscribe to this moralist nonsense. Let's read more of the stuff here. Turn the light on here. And so I'm going to read more of this. Yeah, some people will see a child with a mature body and suddenly it's okay to sexualize them. As I said, the most idolatrous people are the ones that preach moralism, i.e. Nazism, which Nazism was moralism. It was It didn't matter if you were talking about the Jews are unclean. We need to find a solution. The rich are the rich capitalists are evil. We need to find a solution. It didn't matter what ideology you picked. They all preached the same nonsense, moralism. And it has often been my opinion, as far as I can tell, something that some can take it as my opinion, but as far as I can tell, it's a fact that morality leads to oppression, and truth leads to liberation. And so many people would rather just accept moralism in place of the truth. They'd rather listen to these assets preach their doctrines of moralism, and you wonder why they're miserable. You wonder why they're so miserable, because they're obsessed with things that are depressing. They can't enjoy something without getting, oh my god, how dare they sexualize the character, even though that's not the case. Like seriously. Some fans, on the other hand, couldn't take their excitement and tweeted sexist comments like, "No, this is probably someone being. I wouldn't call that. I don't know if I would call it a sexist remark. I've made jokes about mommy milkers before. I've made jokes about Sodaki from what was that show, Sodaki? Sodaki. Sodaki is from it's from an anime that I forget. Versus battles. Oh god, I'm gonna have to send that to Bratis. Oh my god. But I've made jokes about that particular character, and you can see why I've made the mommy milkers jokes. And that before with my friends. With one particular friend of mine, he just laughs. That's not really sexist. If you think I'm not about to sexualize these hunky, that's just someone's just being funny here. I wouldn't call it a sexist remark. I don't know why people gotta call it a sexist remark. That's pretty funny. However, some couldn't care less because the animators have already did it. Like, yeah. They were complaining about the character Daki of the same name from this series. So, Daki of a similar name, except the Daki I just looked up has 2 Ks. The one Daki that I'm talking about is got 1 K. That Daki from this series that I'm talking about, the 1K Daki. They've already done it with that, and even that character, people have been these same Vitae Van dogs smells like a German Shepherd, and Vera's a purpurous! Vera's a purpurous! Vera's a purpurous types. I've been complaining about. We're complaining about the character Daki. You know, Japanese parents express their concern. See, I'm going to listen to the Japanese on this rather than listen to us American imperialist sacks of poop, because the Japanese would tell me they're a better metric for this sort of stuff than for their own entertainment than we are. I didn't see him complain about this. That totally makes sense. That if she actually grew, that her chest probably wouldn't fit in her outfit. Of course, it makes sense. Yeah. I wonder who are the here. Who are the real people? Like, another problem that arose, yeah, that the additional content that includes a synopsis scene. A flood of criticisms, to avoid criticism, blah blah blah. Yeah, it's still the red light district, even if you change the name. And here's some more stuff. Like I'm gonna play something for you guys. Nezuko's demon form sends wrong message to children, says podcaster. No. Let's just read more of this. A Twitter post, blah 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 blah. Is, of course, we know his name if you want to see his name. I care about the Twitter post. I've taught classes of 9 to 12-year-old girls who all love anime and think Demon Slayer is the coolest thing in the world. And if you think designing characters like this, I don't think you should be teaching, dude. I don't think you should be teaching because I wonder if you're I wonder if you're just uncomfortable with how you feel. You know, I don't know. But that just tells me. And he's even got the name Professor Soy Boy. You know, you're not. Unlike the Eternal King of Soy, you're just Sakush stepping full. You know, complaining about stuff, or you're just some creep that probably should be investigated. I mean, they wouldn't be the first. They would be the first to throw this sort of criticism. And I look at this sort of insinuation of this type of thing to be basically no different from calling anime fans and whatnot. the Brotaku podcast, who also claims to be a teacher, nitpicked that this new form of is heavily sexualized, or maybe that her outfit doesn't fit. Like, maybe you're the creeps, essentially making a big deal about something that probably shouldn't be made a big deal out of. You know, like, and when was this fit for children? I thought this was a show for like teenagers. Let's see what Demon Slayer core audience is, because let's see what the audience is. See, you can see that TV 14. See that 14? TV 14. So, why are you allowing your kids to? Why are you allowing your kids to play these? To watch this show when it's not meant for audiences below that. It's like the parents that allow their kids to play first person shooters. Like, let's see, this. Although I would probably let my kids play this, because this isn't as bad. This is pretty cartoonish first-person shooter. This actually has the original Doom. Came with the original releases of Doom. So I now have the original Doom on not just PC, but the Xbox One and the Switch. And I will probably end up getting something like this for the Switch. But it's like the parents that allow their kids to play first-person shooters when they're not even of the age to play that. You wonder why your kid has learned some pretty nasty words. Maybe because they shouldn't be playing the games at such a young age. I mean, that mind, the child's mind of that age, is a highly impressionable thing. So, just hearing these people complain, and like this guy complained about age, is really annoying. You know, there's bro Taku dude, and here I'm gonna be just talking about this stuff. And yeah, these are the replies to this dude. And here's here are the replies. Hey, remember that time in season 1 when a demon attached strings to a girl's body? Yes, I remember that. That was pretty fucked up. And then snapped her limbs and then broke her neck while she was crying in fear and begging for help. That was pretty fucked up, huh? Did you show the class that too? Oh! Oh! Yeah. I think these people are just idiots. Like, hey, did you know Demon Slayer was never intended for kids? You really should show your kids anime that's age appropriate. Like this series, like this movie. And everyone should know what this is. Everyone was making such a big hoopla about this film and Hayao Miyazaki. Like, oh my god, Hayao Miyazaki this, Hayao Miyazaki that. Yeah, I like Hayao Miyazaki, but even Hayao Miyazaki agrees with me. This is a bit much. A bit much, my friend. No, people. No, that's a good film to show your kids. You know. In his later tweet, he criticized the design of Lazy and Poor. See, that's an excuse. You're trying to retract your remark. It's not lazy and poor. It makes sense because she probably grew. You know, I have no problem calling these people creeps. They insinuate that I'm a creep. Or they would be that type of person to insinuate that. Let's just put it that way. To which fans rush to defend the The character is saying the Twitter user cannot differentiate fiction from reality. Exactly! Exactly! Shows how he's complaining about the women design choices while they were made by a woman. As I told you, that the show was made by a woman, the author of Demon Slayer. And that is not the show, but the manga, rather. It's made by a woman. And did you know that the music for Demon Slayer is also done by a woman? The same woman who did Dot Hack Sign soundtrack. Now that's a series you probably have never heard of, which kind of cements me as an otaku for the fact that I know this stuff. Now, sorry that girls having boobs is a design flaw and harmful to you. There's so many better options you could pick for this, and you pick one of the easiest examples to defend. I have a harder time defending Senran Kagura than this. And that series is made for titty fiction. You know, I have a young 12-year-old who is currently in love with the Demon Slayer series and have said nothing but positive things about the wives or Nezuko's designs. Just say you can't differentiate between anime boobs and your students' boobs. Kind of makes me think about these people, as I said. These people that complain about this could very well be creeps, and I think the school should investigate. I think the school should investigate. You know, earlier this month, I think we've already read this. And I've got something else to play before we Hey, Uncharted X is another video, cool. But I've got another video I got a video to play here that'll help. That relates to this. And it's about not paying attention to these fools.
I mean, if you're happy with everything in your life, then great. You don't need to do anything. But if you're miserable, well, the only way you're going to be able to change that is to stop harmonizing with and totally dissociate from all the miserable things that you're putting into your mind. And stop bitching about it, because that just totally reinforces it. It's a feedback loop. Alex Jones, you know, I pick on him a lot, but he's an angry dude. And most of his followers are angry too. They're angry at the New World Order. Well, just go to his website. On any given day, it don't matter what day it is. Read the headlines and the articles on the front page there. Just, you know, a handful of them. Do they make you feel happy? Or do they really piss you off? Well, they're designed to piss you off, to polarize you. I mean, if you're angry all the time, well, stop associating with things that make you angry. I mean, unless you like being angry. So it's the things that the conscious mind aren't catching that slip past the filter. And that's what subliminal messaging does. It has to sneak in under the radar. If you catch it, it doesn't work.
And what this guy is, what Frederick Xavier was talking about is don't pay attention to this crap. You know, it's a good thing to just not pay attention to it. And that's about all. Peace out.